Hello there, Star Wars Nerd 00 coming at you. I wasn't going to cover any more of the Acolyte. I don't want to. But I saw a video from Star Wars Theory talking about Leslye Headland claiming Osha killed Soul in the Acolyte because he was imposing benign sexism on her. So I watched the video. And I got an article pulled up, that Park Place. As you can see, it's exactly the same title as his video. So, we're gonna read it, and we're gonna fucking talk about it, I guess. God damn it, man. Why do they gotta say the... What the... Okay. Leslye Headland, the showrunner of The Acolyte, explained that Osha killed Soul because of benign sexism in the final episode. In the final episode, Soul confirms to May and Chimere that he killed Mother Anaeza. Osha overhears the conversation, then confronts him. However, Soul makes it clear that what he did was the right thing to do, and that he did not inform the Jedi because he was trying to protect Osha, and she would have been sent away because she was too old to train, and would have never been allowed to become a Jedi. When did Soul tell Osha that? Like, at all. At fucking all. He didn't. All she heard was he killed their mother, but she doesn't know that she turned into a fucking smoke monster, and her goddamn sister was fucking turning into the smoke monster too, which he thought was her. He didn't fucking tell her that. Nor did he fucking tell her that Indara told fucking Soul. It's like they didn't even watch the finished product of the fucking show, man. Oh my fucking God. He goes on to tell her that everything she did, or he goes on to tell her that he did everything because he loved her. No, he didn't. He got cut off. He got fucking cut off. However, the word love... Oh, it says it. Whoopsie. I need to finish reading it first. But Osha begins to use the force choke on him. As he's being choked, Soul then tells her, it's okay. Osha then kills him. Fucking great picture of Lee Jung-jae. In an interview with Collider, Maggie Lovett asked Headland, what's so interesting about that moment where Osha kills Soul? Is it how much is conveyed even while he's choking on his words? Also, and maybe that this was my impression of it, but my first thought was he doesn't even give her the agency to make this choice herself because he's accepting his fate. It just adds so much more insult to injury. You can't even let her get a satisfactory kill because you're like, it's okay, it's so good. Leslye Headland responds with, we knew that it was always going to be the betrayal of the father, and I knew we had to juxtapose Luke's forgiveness and Vader's redemption. We're like, this is a story about the Sith, so that's not going to happen. What Sith? Aside from Chimere in like 3 episodes. You focused on witches and Jedi. In what way was this a show about the Sith? What fucking way? And as for Soul accepting his death, I don't know, what is she going on? The fucking interviewer said he doesn't even give her the agency to make the choice herself because he's accepting his fate. It adds so much more insult to injury. You can't even let her get a satisfactory kill because you're like, it's okay. It's so good. Are these people, like, okay? I really don't know what to say to that aside from, are they okay? Who fucking hurt them so bad that this is their way of fucking thinking? Okay. She then affirmed Lovett's comment. You're absolutely right. There's a thing that's called benign sexism, and it's a part of the paternal protectionism. It seems like this good thing, but like you said, there's this I have to protect you from everything. I have to make sure you're okay. I have to tell you what track to get on, and then once you're on that track, I need to support you. I mean, I'm just saying, my parents have supported me through all my life choices. Whether that be working in fast food, working in construction, doing this on the side, doing music. I mean, that's just kind of what parents do. And Soul is essentially Osha's parent. You know, why would he not want to support her? And I understand it's against the Jedi way. You know, he can't have an attachment. You know, he's got to let the shit go. She leaves the order. Oh well. But I mean, he's human. Deep down, he's going to be wanting to know if she's okay. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Anakin. You're going to sit here and tell me that Anakin didn't wonder if Ahsoka was okay? Ahsoka was a fucking child soldier on her own. I promise you, he was thinking about her every fucking day. Maybe these people just and I know it's a touchy subject, and I'm really not the person to really get into this type of topic, but they are really like, I don't know, man. This is just, these people need some therapy, and they need to quit putting it into TV shows and movies. Ultimately, what happens is, again, this is a father-daughter relationship. As women evolve in their lives and develop their own personalities separate from their fathers, at some point they have to reject the protectionism. Why? I mean, that doesn't just go for daughters too. I mean, my parents want to make sure that I'm okay and protected. I mean, I can take care of myself, but they want to make sure that I'm okay. That's kind of, what happens when you're a parent. You want to make sure that your child's okay. I mean, I personally don't have kids, but my niece and nephew, even my friends' kids, I would do anything to make sure that they're okay. I mean, that's just what you do. You want to make sure children are okay, even if they're grown. I mean, like, I'm 24 years old, and my mom and dad will, like, they still want to make sure that I'm okay. So, yeah. It is just, oh my fucking god. Headland continued, again, I'm so proud of it. I have so many favorite moments in the show. I have like 100, and I'm happy to go through all of them right now. One of my favorite moments, I hope they don't go through all of this. Holy shit, no. One of my favorite moments is when he says, I did everything because I love, and he's going to say, I love you. Not only is that a level of attachment that an unbalanced Jedi would have, he very clearly is losing it in the last half of the season. But that is also the justification for that kind of behavior between the father and the daughter. The daughter has to surpass him in some way, she explained. She cannot stay a little girl or an adolescent or a young adult. She has to, at some point, say, I reject what you have told me I need to do to make you proud, to follow in your footsteps. She has to do that. Headland concluded, I do think that when he says, it's okay, I think you're right. He's imposing on her agency at that point, but I do think in a weird way she needed it. She needed his acceptance, not his approval, but his acceptance of his fate, I think. is what gives her the energy to do the final fist clench. Are we just forgetting that the Jedi are supposed to be following the will of the Force and not the will of the people, not the will of the Republic, not the will of the Senate, the will of the Chancellor, the will of the fucking Temple Guards, the will of the Padawans, the will of the fucking Force. The will of the Force is why Qui-Gon accepted his fate that he was going to die in the Phantom Menace. I'm glad that this show is over. Because not only have you rewritten the Phantom Menace, watered it down as fuck, I had to go on multiple interviews to explain episodes. And now, okay. I'm honestly at a fucking loss for words. This is going to be the last video I make on the Acolyte, and then I'm just going to be covering the shit I love about Star Wars. I had to read this fucking interview and cover it. So, yeah. Headland appears to be confirming that the entire show is about her own personal experiences rather than any kind of universal experience between father and daughters. She actually affirmed this in a past interview with the New York Times. Headland stated, "I have a very strained relationship with my youngest sister, and I feel like one of the reasons it is strained is that we both see each other as the bad guy. And if I was going to tell a story about bad guys, it seemed to me that the place should start to be a familial relationship where one person is admittedly convinced of her correctness and the other person is also admittedly convinced of her correctness. We don't speak, and I think this will be a surprise to her." In what? I don't know if this is just like the person who wrote the article or what, but that kind of just doesn't make sense. They're talking about father and daughters, and then Leslye goes on to talk about her fucking sister, which, why do you gotta put your personal stories inside of Star Wars? Why can't we just have great Star Wars, or great movies in general, without a fucking message? Like, the personal plug. Oh, great fucking segue into talking about The Shroud of fucking Darkness, my Star Wars fan story, which completely is a rewrite of the fucking sequels, and it's 1,000 times better. And I don't put any of my personal messages or anything aside from making Luke Skywalker again, making the Jedi what they should be, not fucking tearing them down. Fucking god damn. Interesting, later in the Collider interview, Headland provided more evidence to this theory. Lovett commented, "I think that's what makes villains so compelling, because there is little piece of every writer in the villains kind of pushing the idea that they have harbored within them. The villain is a great proxy for getting those feelings out." Absolutely. I rarely put myself into the protagonist because I think the protagonist has to be the protagonist. Who's the fucking protagonist of this fucking show? Who's the fucking bad guy? Somebody commented on Star Wars Theory's fucking video, and it said, you have Sol accidentally killing Mother Anaeza, and Osha just willingly killing Sol. Who's the fucking bad guy? Who's the good guy in this? What the actual fuck is with this show, man? What the? Oh my god. I can't keep covering this fucking shit, and I'm not going to after this fucking video. They might have a sprinkling of me. Certainly Osha and May, the family conflict, the switching sides, being really certain that you know one thing, the betrayal of the father, the rejection of the fraternal protectionism, and saying, I am now my own person. That stuff I relate with, but the stranger is my shadow self for sure. Headland was asked, aside from the obvious allusions to other ships, is there any other enemies to lover dynamic that informed the decision that you were making while you were playing these two characters? There are so many, but I'm going to say no because I was really working from muscle memory and I didn't want to quote something else. I wanted to just click into that kind of stuff that I wrote when I was in high school. I love these characters. Nobody wants to ship these characters more than I do. I love them so much. I love the stranger. There's always that character that's an avatar for me that I really, really love. In Russian Doll, it was Charlie Barnett's character, Alan. The stranger is obviously a badass, but I mean much more than his character. I'm not going around doing fantastic lightsaber battles and murdering people and being an all-around badass because you're fucking not at all. You fucking let everybody fucking down. But I would say that what he talks about in this episode and what he talks about in episode 5 is something I really dug down. Then Osha's inner conflict with this ideology, and yet they are on opposite ends of the spectrum, just like she and her sister started at the beginning of the show. I wanted to stay true to my characters. I tried my best to just stick to the tropes and the stuff that I love and try not to think about, especially with the classics. I think would have been a little too quotes for a round if that were a case. And that's the end of the interview. Oh my fucking God. I can't with this show. This is why I'm taking a break from Star Wars. Yep. After I release the Shroud of Darkness, I'm taking a break. And over on Tales from Peridia, check out a special video coming reviewing the first 3 X-Men movies, watching for my first time. So yeah. That's it for this fucking video on the Acolyte. I'm so fucking done with this goddamn show. I'm done covering this shit. I'm done talking about it. I'm done responding to comments about it. I'm just done. I will always love Star Wars. George's work, Dave's work, Jon Favreau's work, Sam Witwer's work will always have a special place in my heart, and I will never not love them. But good God, am I fucking done. Oh my God. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this fucking video. I hope you guys enjoy watching me lose my fucking mind. I hope you guys have a good one. I'm gonna go edit this video. Look out for Deadpool and Wolverine discussion with Sean on Tales from Peridia coming soon. And yeah. May the Force be with you all. Always.